Okay, let's not delay this any further. Good to see you all. It is week number 2 and a few days in. So week number 3 technically in, but there's going to be an update of week 2 of our season 3 with me playing LOTR. Last time I left you, we were just chilling. We were getting the commanders up, getting some tiles. Well, guess what? This episode is not just chilling. It's the last thing but chilling. It is full of allies, friendship, there's got war inside, and most of all, it's got betrayal. And this is what everyone's waiting for, aren't they? Just my perspective on this. Inside the Loft leadership team, as a diplomat, how do I feel about it all? Am I fuming? How do I feel? And I'll be explaining that during this episode. So hang on and hope you enjoy it. Hit the like and subscribe if you want to see more of these videos. And let us know how your season's going in the comment section below. And now I'll get on with my season, how it's going. So last time I left you, we were talking about war, right? So we were saying about war with Rohan. And we were sitting on the edge of Fanghorn. Well, what I can say is that war happened. That war happened, it did. How did it happen? Well, Gundabad was friends of Angmar, as I said last time. Erebor and ourselves were friends. Linden, Rohan and Variags and Isengard were teamed up. And what happened is Gundabad went over to Linden. And then what happened is that Rohan supported them as united faction. Completely fair. When Rohan did, Gundabad requested that Loth support, which is understandable. We were sort of in like a peace or a treaty with Erebor and Loth and Gundabad and Angmar. We wanted to sort of team up, be friends for now, and push on and work together. So Gundabad, hey, can you please help us with Rohan? Loth are like, no worries, guys, we'll support you. Hey, Rohan, get away from them. And they carried on they carried on marching towards Gundabad. And anyway, Loth launched an attack on Rohan. Rohan actually saw it coming, got there first, and actually got over to our crossing first. And that was over the, like I said before, the Fanghorn. Really good fight with them, really enjoyable for the first couple of days. And then what happened? So just to summarise before I go anywhere further, we also had Variags and Erebor fighting here. Gundabad and Linden fighting there with Angmar. Us fighting in the middle with Rohan. Gondor nowhere to be seen. Isengard chilling. Arnor also chilling as well. So over here, what happened was Variags and Erebor were sort of 50-50. I'd sort of maybe say more like 60-40 in Variags' favour. Definitely the strongest faction on the server. And definitely probably were going to be the winners of the season, which I'll explain why in a minute. But they were they're the sort of strongest faction, and they were sort of winning against Erebor. This was before the Dwarven buff, so it'd be interesting if I could see them fighting hand to hand again on a crossing, like 1v1 again, see what the result would be then. It might be very different. Okay. Gundabad smacked Linden, as we said before. Absolutely smacked him. Half of Linden quit. Is what we're hearing. So Linden went up quite quiet compared to the first week. So let's talk about the Loth and Rowan situation. We're fighting quite nicely. We pushed down into, so we're fighting on here. We were fighting this. We pushed into their fields twice, 3 times, as far as into the wold. And we then quite greedy and tried to take the keep. Without really setting ourselves up properly, and not everyone with us at the time. It did end up failing, and us and Rowan were having some really good fights. We got into theirs more than they got into ours, I'd say, but definitely Rowan were getting the upper hand towards the later side of it. It was definitely a 50-50 here. Really good fights, really enjoyable. What then happened is the most exciting thing ever, but also the shitty thing, is Gundabad, who, let's remind ourselves, Erebor, Loth, Gundabad, Angmar, friends. Yeah. Gundabad said, all right, well, guys, I've really enjoyed being friends with you, but I'm going to go friends with Variags now. Angmar, so because you're little and with us, you have to come as well, because we'll just kill you else. So let's understand that. That's the whole server versus Loth and Erebor. Great. Like, literally, the whole server decided to fight Loth and Erebor. Okay, so what we did, we thought, you know what, makes sense. Gundabad are the betrayers. Everyone in the server will hate them. Rowan, peace up, put swords down, and we put swords down. We marched away from our crossing saying, listen guys, we're friends, we're good, we're going to make friendship. We really mean this. Sorry that Gundabad made us attack you. We're now going to be friends. Rowan didn't give a shit, to say little, like, just they didn't really care. So Gundabad, like Rowan didn't give a shit. So we had no one here. Farm and Pear were all pulled away from this crossing, and Rowan were voting. As they confirmed the vote of, sorry, we don't want to be allied, we want to wipe you from the map with the rest of the server, they marched across with like 100 armies, as we didn't have any armies here. So it definitely felt like a cheap move, since we've been respectful, pulling armies away for discussion point of view. Yes, it's a war game, we shouldn't have done that. It was more of a respect point of view, but they didn't give a shit. Okay, they did not give a shit, and they said, listen, we'll have the opportunity and we'll give you a kicking. So let me just read my notes a second before, if in case I missed anything. Yep. And then, yeah, so we said sorry to Rowan. They didn't give a shit. We offered Undeeps. We sort of talked about Isengard lands, which I think upset them a little bit. But they didn't give a crap, really. They're saying, listen, and to be fair though, respect to Rowan, why would they? They've had a really good friendship with Variags. Variags have looked after them, and Rohan looked after them. So they're like, well, why would we go over to Loth when everyone else, all of our friends look after us, really? And now we've got your friend as well, so we're the powerhouse. So they wanted to, like, I don't know, to us it sort of was ruining the server a little bit. We did feel that way, very upset about it. We've got over it now, don't get me wrong. But it was one of those where you are like sort of destroying the server slightly, because it is everyone versus 2. In terms of a power ratio, it was a 65 to 35 ratio on power and population is what it ended up being, which is a very, very savage and definitely a not fair fight. But hey, it is what it is. So what we did, our decision was we'd give Rowan a good smack before we left them. And we did exactly that. They pushed up as far as, where do we do? So this is the crossing. They pushed up probably halfway through Celebrant Fields. They went all the way up this court, all the way there on the side, somewhere down here, all the way in the middle, because we pulled our armies, like I said before. So we decided to give them a good smack, tell them who's boss. When we pushed them all the way back to the crossing, kicked them out of their place, no problem at all. When we got here, Orca decided to go north, and then Farm followed. So they've come across and now taken that. We were quite happy with ourselves, understood that, listen, we can still fight Rohan one-on-one, even when we're behind a little bit. And we were quite happy. Still 50-50 fight with Rohan, but really, really good. And I think we were quite comfortable and said, listen, we've done our best here in a bad situation. Now, where are we? Well, first of all, I want to talk about what we've learned from all that situation. If you are, in the start of the season, friends with a group, okay, it actually works in your favour if you're the one that betrays them. If you think about it, it's a 3v3 scenario. It was Linden, Gundabad, Rohan, Loth, Erebor, Variags. It's a 50-50 situation, 3v3 in the grand scheme of things. Well, what happened in that is if one of those teams decide to join the other team will accept them because then they gain strength, and the other team just loses out. Like, betrayal actually works better in this game, but what that means is if we can somehow do well this season and do something, maybe one of the other ones will betray back. But I doubt they will, because they're on the winning side now. So what this happens, though, is in week 2, we've pretty much seen Rohan has give up the ring. Rohan and Linden, Gondor, Angmar, Arnor and Isengard have all give up the ring in week 2. Because Variags are going to win it. Variags and Gundabad will beat Rohan and Linden in the ring. Apparently it's going to be a 1v1 fight, Rohan versus Variags. apparently. Don't see how that's going to work. If that scenario does happen, chances are we will pick to attack Rohan just for a laugh because they didn't ally with us. I'm saying that, by the way, out of context because I don't have power to do that. For me, it would be a laugh. But literally, we don't know. Don't know what the council will vote. I don't get a vote in that council. But I'm not sure how people feel about, would they, maybe if Rowan came to us now and said, listen guys, we made a mistake, let's team up, let's kick that Gundabad ass, maybe we will actually team with them. I think right now at this point we probably would. We'd probably accept anyone in, Gondor in, Linden in, anyone really to try and save our season, because the summary of this is what's going to happen if we don't somehow work miracles is that the season's going to be over in 7 days, 14 days. We're going to be on week 4 and the season will be over. I don't know how that's fun for anyone. I have no clue how that's fun for anybody. I don't understand, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's absolutely fine. Anyone in Loth and Erebor, though, do not put down your swords. We will have fun till the end of the season. We have plenty of plans in the council and in the leadership teams for the rest of the season. We will be having fun. There's plenty of fights yet to have, and this is definitely not over, is my final words I'd say today. I think it's a good update. I've enjoyed this week, though. Was annoyed at you, Rowan. I was very annoyed, and I was going to say bad things about you today, but you know what? I get it. I do get it. And I'm sure you're nice people. I'm sure you're not the Gundabaddies that betray people. So I completely get it. And I do send my love to you. How's your season going? If you're in this server, what's your perspective on all of this? Are you in Linden? Are you in Variags? Do you hate Gundabad? Are you like, why leadership team? Why have you taken them in? Because of betrayals? Let us know in the comment section. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from everyone. Make it a space that everyone can put their sort of like anonymous stuff in here. You don't need to say what faction you're in. Put your point of view of what you think about Gundabags and what. If you were a leader of Variags, would you take them in? If you were the leader of Rowan, would you have turned on Variags and said, listen, you're working with betrayers. No, we're not having it. We're going to go with Loth now. How would you deal with it, with this situation where you get betrayed? How have you dealt with it in the other seasons? If you like these updates, please hit that like and subscribe. I think that's everything we can go through today. And yeah, lots of fun to come, and I can't wait to update you next week on where we are. Hopefully, we ain't dead. I'll tell you what I do hope, though. That Gundabad capital is going down. That's our plan. It's got to be. It's the only thing we can do. Well, we're on the way anyway. See you tomorrow.